Welcome to OffbeatLasVegas.com. This is the first moment the website has ever opened. It's going to be a gigantic website with many, many, many chapters on it. But the only thing we've developed so far is just this little beginning for my family. That's step one, phase one of the website. And so I hope you enjoy this little Christmas special segment, which will only be on the website for a short time after all my kids have watched this thing and hopefully left it on all the way till the end. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for tuning into the website, and I got something very special in store for you called Spin to Win. Okay, I want to wish everybody a Merry, Merry Christmas to all my kids. Richie Jr., Nadia, Benny, and the big guys, Big Richie and Big Ben. Everybody a very, very, very happy holiday season. Merry Christmas. And we're going to get through this period and things are going to be normal next year, I believe. Okay, what I got for you today is something very, very, very special to me, and I hope it becomes very special to you. I'm going to show you the way to success, the fun, easy, and lazy person's way to get there. That's my goal. Because I don't know if you know this about me or not, but I'm a very lazy person. I'm a procrastinator. I've got ADD. I'm very forgetful. And for me to get anything accomplished, I can't do it in long, long, long periods. I've got to break everything up into little tiny fun little segments to get things done. So I made up a game that I started this when I was 5 years old. I know you didn't know that because I never told anybody this, but I did. I began it when I was 5 years old, and I morphed it and changed it and honed it through the years, and I still play this game today on a lot different level than I did when I was 5. Right now, the game has turned a little more sophisticated. It's gotten a little bit of electronics and so forth. But you're going to learn all that stuff in just a few minutes. And if you decide that you want to do this, and I highly recommend you do, because it's going to, your life is going to excel like you can't even imagine without you feeling like you even did anything. It's true. That's how it's going to be. And that's how all the things that I've accomplished in life have excelled like they have, to whatever degree they're going, is all because of this game. Okay, I'm not going to get into a long thing. I'm going to see if I can get this thing succinct and easy to understand for you. If when it's all over you have questions, which you probably will if you're interested in doing this yourself, then you can text me, call me, send me an email, whatever you want to do, and I'll explain things. Or maybe you'll have ideas you want to add to it. I'm very interested in improving this all the time. I make changes in this game almost daily, little ones. But anyway, I've pretty much got it where I want it now. At least I hope I have. And there's some materials you need to play the game, but you're getting them all for Christmas. Not very many things you need, but what you do need, you're going to be getting. Oh my God, look at the time. I can't believe it. I'm looking at my clock right now. It says it's already break time. All right, well, we got to do what the clock says to do, so we're going to do what the clock says to do. All right, if you will just take a break here, I'm going to ask you to put this video on pause in just a moment. But before you do that, if you'll open up the card that I gave you and the gift box that I gave you, and then take everything out of the gift box. There's not much in there, but take that stuff out and get it prepared, like put the battery in, etc. You'll know what to do with it. And then when you're all ready, you have it all laid out in front of you, just come back to the video so we can begin the process of Spin to Win. In order to get your life and all your goals and your dreams and everything else to excel in 1,722 different ways, you need to have these materials that I mentioned. I'm going to show you what they are. First of all, I'm giving you a clipboard. Everybody gets their own clipboard and plenty of these writing pads to get yourself started. And this is what we call the dance card. You'll understand in a little while what I mean. Don't worry, I'm not going to do the rumba or the tip-tap. I'm not doing that for you today. If you want to see that, you have to pay me. Okay, but for today, here is what you got to have. Your dance card. You got to have your pen. Hopefully you still have the one I gave you last year for Christmas. If you don't, any pen will work. However, this type of pen with the different colors will make things a lot simpler and easier. If you decide to do this project that I'm telling you about, this game, and you lost your pen, I will gladly send you another one, any color you want. But you got to continue to use the game through January 31st in order to qualify. Okay, next, you're going to need a voice memo. But in the game, we call this your talker. So I'm giving you one of these too. This is a refurbished one. It's good. It's pretty good, really good, but it's not incredibly excellent. If you're still doing the game at the end of January, I will send you a much better model of this if you just send this one back to me, and I will send you a much more expensive version of this that even lights up and everything, which makes it a little easier. But this one's really good too, don't get me wrong. Okay, you'll also need this thing, your pointer, which I didn't spray paint. I'm thinking about making them different colors. Maybe by the time Christmas rolls around, yours will be a different color than just wood. But that doesn't matter. It works just fine. And this is your pointer. So these are all the only things you need, except you need a random number generator. Now, to generate random numbers, there's different ways that can be done. If you have a HomePod or an iPhone with Siri on it, or something with Alexa on it, those will all be the easiest way to get your random number. But if you don't have those things, don't worry. I can teach you a quick way to do it with a deck of cards or with some dice, okay? And if you don't have those things, I'll send them to you. I mean the deck of cards or the dice. I'm not sending you a HomePod. Don't try to get that out of me. But if you have an iPhone or a smartphone of any kind, it's real simple. If you need a random number, all you got to do, let's say you need a number between 1 and 48. Hey Siri, random number between 1 and 48.
It's 17.
See how simple that is? If you don't know how to do it, I'll show you 75 times till you get it right. And it works great with the HomePod too. And Alexa, I believe, can do the same thing. I don't know. I haven't tried Alexa. I don't cheat on Siri. That's why. Okay, so those are the materials that you're going to need to get started. Now, what are you going to do with these materials? We'll talk about that in just a second. I can hear you all the way from Las Vegas. You're saying, get on with it. We want to know how to make this success happen in our lives. I don't blame you. I do too. If anybody knows, call me, would you? No, I've got it all figured out. It's all going to be shown to you in the next 10 minutes. And then we'll be all finished, and you can be on your merry way to either doing all these things, or you can say, I don't want to do that. It's up to you. Okay, now, first of all, first step is you take your little talker and you put everything, you say everything into this thing that you can think of that you ever wanted to accomplish. It can be gigantic, it could be big. Say you want to fix cars. Say you want to be a wrestler. Say you want to be a drummer. Say you want to do anything you want to do. It's going to be in here. And I'll teach you how to get there the lazy man's or the lazy woman's way to get there and to really achieve what you want to do. Okay, so this has 4 folders in it. I don't have to tell you what folders are. All of you know a lot more about computers than I'll ever know. Because one thing I never put in my talker was learn how to operate a computer. But you already know how to do all that. Okay, so with your talker, and I won't show you all the details because if you look at your talker, you're going to figure this out in 2 seconds. And if you can't figure it out, you're getting an instruction book, or you can get a hold of me and I'll help you over the phone. So that's not going to be a problem at all. So you go to folder A, for example, first. Folder A is the most important folder that you're going to have, because in that folder, you're going to put all the things that you must do today. I don't mean tomorrow, next week, next month. Those are for other folders. Folder A, you've got 4 folders. Folder A is going to be the stuff that you have to do today. Like, for example, I don't know what you have to do today. Maybe you have to put gasoline in your car because the tank is empty. If you do, you better do that today, right? Or maybe you have to, whatever you think you have to do today, you know better than I do. I don't know what you have to do today, but whatever it is, that goes into folder A, okay? Remember, I don't tell you how to do anything. It's all on you, but I'll make it real easy on you to do that. Okay, now folder B. Let's talk about folder B of the 4 folders. Also known as folder 2, by the way. You can call it whatever you want. It's your talker. Do what you want to do. Okay, so in folder B, then you put in things that really need to be done, but not right away. Not right away. They just need to be done pretty soon. We'll call it that. Okay, folder C. Well, what's folder C for? I thought we just covered everything. No, don't rush me like that. Folder C are things that you want to do. You don't have to do them, but you want to do them because most of them are lots of fun. Like maybe read that book that you have just been neglecting or never finished from 3 years ago. Or watch that movie you want to see on Netflix. Or, I don't know, you know what you want to do. I don't know what you want to do. Stop asking me. Okay, or finally, there's folder D. Now that might not sound like the most fun and favorite one, but trust me, it will be. Because what folder D is for, the final folder, is that big, gigantic project that you are working on or that you want to start, or that big goal that you want to have in life, or this year, or this month. Whatever you consider to be that big, big, big thing, that is what folder D is all about. Okay? You following me so far? Pretty simple, right? It is simple. If it weren't simple, I couldn't do it. So, to recap here with these folders, 4 folders, folder A are the things that must be done today, that are on your list of things. You gotta do them today, whether you wanna do them or not, they've gotta be done. But I'm gonna show you a simple way later on making that easier, even if it's stuff you don't wanna do. Okay, and then there's folder B. That are the things that you really want to do, but they don't have to be done right away. Hopefully soon, but not right away. That's folder B. Folder C, that's the folder where you're going to be putting things in that you really want to do them, but you don't have to do them, and you don't care when you do them, but you want to know, but you do know that you want to get them done before the end of your life. You want to make sure that all the things in folder C get done. And then folder D, that's your big project or your big goal that you want to accomplish, and folder D is going to get you there. Don't worry about how these things are going to happen yet. First step is to put those into your folder. So we're going to take a little break here. Why don't you do that? Put everything in the folder you can think of. It doesn't have to be everything in the world. Just, for example, some things in each folder, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about all that. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to do is something you're going to do every single day before you play the game. That's assuming that you play the game every day. I don't know when you're going to play the game. That's up to you. Me, I do it every day, or almost every day. But you might decide not to do it every day. That's up to you. There's really very few rules to this game. But the ones that there are the ones that you need to follow if you want to make this work for you. And I'm going to show you easily how to do that. So the next thing you need to do is the first thing you do every day before you start is you fill out your dance card. Okay, there's 2 things you write on your dance card. Number 1 is your rotation, and number 2 is your itinerary for the day. So your rotation. What is your rotation? Okay, what you're going to do is you are going to decide what you want to do that day that may not even be in your talker. And you're thinking, well, doesn't everything go into my talker? Well, this isn't going to go into your talker. Let's say you've got a project. I'll give you an example of what I do every day. Every day I telemarket, I sell curve numbers. And every day I practice songs because I'm joining a duo in January, and I have to learn a lot of songs. So I work on them every single day. But I don't want to do every single song in a row. I'll get bored to tears. Or I don't want to do all my telemarketing at once. I'll get bored to tears. So I made a little game out of it. That's where your dance card comes in. Okay, so on my dance card, as you can see behind me here in the image, is 3 things to start off with. Sales call, that's for telemarketing. Right after that, I practice 1 song. And right after that, I go to folder A. After I've done that, then I do another sales call. After that, I practice another song. And after that, I go to folder B. Don't worry, you don't do the whole folder in one day. It's not like that at all. But everything's baby steps. Everything's simple and quick. So you're never going to get bored. People sometimes ask me, gosh, aren't you bored with the coronavirus and all this going on? I go, bored? I don't have time to get bored. I'm playing my game all the time. How can I get bored doing that? Okay, and believe me, it's not tedious. It's really fun. You'll see. Okay, and then below folder C, you write, do 1 sales call. After that, practice 1 song. After that, go to folder C. Then below that, I write 1 sales call. Then I write practice 1 song. Then I write folder D. And then after that, you start all over again with folder A again at the beginning. That's what you do. That's your day. Sounds like a real boring day, doesn't it? Trust me, it's not. Now, if I finish practicing all my songs, I just cut that out. I can practice a song with something else, or I can just forget that segment for the day and move quicker with the things that I want to do. With sales calls, I could never get enough of those, so I just keep on going all the time. And I don't have to make a sale. All I got to do is resolve 1 customer. If it's a customer that says, oh no, I don't want it painted this year, thank you, I resolved that one. I'm not going to call them till next year, but I'm done for the day with that customer, meaning let's go to the next step here. Okay, below that is your itinerary. Now, itinerary is is 2 things. Number 1 is where you have to go to today. Make a list of them and what time you have to do those, if there's a time stamp on those things. If there isn't, then just make a list of where you have to go today. And below that, write all the things that that don't have a timestamp on it. So basically, first things are going to be the things that have to be done at a certain time. Below that, things that can be done anytime. But all of them have to be done today, or don't put them on here. Okay? All right, that's it for what you have to do to get the game started. Loaded up your talker. I believe you've already done that already. And then fill out your dance card. Do that right now. And I'll be back to show you how to play Spin to Win. Now it's time to show you how to play the game. Okay? Because you can't play the game if you don't know the rules. And you can't break the rules if you don't know the rules before you break them. And by the way, it is okay to break rules. Most of them anyway. If you want to make changes in the game to suit yourself, go for it. Do what you want to do. There's only a couple of rules you can't break, because if you break those rules, then you won't get to the end. You won't achieve the goal. But there's very few rules that you have to worry about breaking. And I'll tell you what they are. All right, so first of all, I've got a sample loaded up into here. I put a few things in each folder. They're not real, but just to kind of give you an example of how this works. All right, so let's say you've done your first thing on your dance card, okay, which was, in my case, it would have been to do telemarketing, make a curve number phone call. Second thing was to practice a song. The third thing is to go to folder A, okay? So let's say you're in folder A. Okay, I'm turning on this is on now, and I know that, only thing I know right now is that I'm gonna go to folder A. Now in my talker that I use, I probably have over 100 things in every single folder, okay? Some may have less, some may have more, but you know what I'm saying. But in this one, I probably have like 6 or 7 things in each folder, because this is just for an example. And I'm not gonna go through all 6 or 7 things. We're gonna do this by random. So we're in folder A. I'm getting my phone out of my pocket right now. We're gonna have Siri take us to where we're gonna go. In folder A. There's 6 things in my folder A, sample folder A, only 6. Siri, number between 1 and 6.
It's 4.
It's 4. Okay, so I'm going to, this has got 6 items in folder A. I'm fast forwarding, now I'm in number 4. Let's see what it tells us to do.
Get started or continue working on the sink repair. And if you don't know how to do it, then either read about it or call a plumber.
Okay, I don't know whether you could understand that or not. I'll tell you, the talker that you'll trade this one in for if you continue to do this has much better sound quality than this one does. But if you couldn't understand it, it said, if you haven't already done it, fix the sink that's broken, and if you don't know how to do it, read about it or call a plumber. Whatever, you just got to get the sink fixed. All right, now I don't know how to fix a sink, but I don't even have a broken sink, but that was an example. If I did, let's say that the water was dripping, we'll say, okay? And I would, probably try to replace the aerator in there, which is easy to do. So that would be where I'd start. I would unscrew the aerator from the sink, and I go over to Home Depot and give it to them and ask them, give me one of these. Okay, and then after I go to Home Depot, I might go out and have lunch, or maybe do this, that, and the other thing, whatever it is. I finished my sink project, as far as this thing's concerned, for the whole day. Unless this comes up again, then I would continue the next part of the sink project. But if it doesn't come up again that day, then at least I did something on it, and that's all that matters. Remember, baby steps. Don't worry about finishing anything. That would drive you crazy. Just fun little things. That's all you got to do. Eventually, I promise you, everything's going to get done without any pain or boredom or forgetfulness or procrastination or any other big words I can't pronounce. Okay? So that's folder A. Now, when you do a folder, when you finish a folder, I should say, and I didn't show you this yet, you're going to have your dance card on your desk that tells you, remember, you know what it tells you because we already went through it. Let's just say this is on your desk. Here's your pointer. I promise you only one thing. When you're working on this stuff and you get engrossed in practicing a song or telemarketing for curb numbers or whatever else you do, fixing the sink, you're going to forget where you left off on this thing. If you don't believe me, you'll find out. Just try it. You'll forget. I'm telling you, you'll forget. You'll get engrossed in things, or the phone will ring or whatever, and you'll forget where you were. That's where this comes in, your pointer. Just lay it down, pointing to where you're going to pick up from when you finish the segment you're on, and move it, slide it all the way down, and when you're done, bring it to the top and start over and start over and start over until the day's over or until you're sick of doing this. That's your choice. I can't tell you what to do. I just hope you give it a shot. That's all I really hope. And I really think that if you do, you might very well be doing this till the end of January. In fact, you might be doing it a lot longer than that. But if you do it till the end of January, then you get a free pen if you don't have the one I gave you before, and you get to trade in your talker to me for a much better version. With it even lights up. Wow, you mean you can do it in the dark. All right, so that's that. So for right now, I think you understand how to play the game. In our next segment, our final segment, I'm going to show you some miscellaneous trivia points about how to do this thing. Okay, during that break, I got so many cards and letters and emails and texts, people saying, but Offbeat, you didn't tell me this, that, and the other thing. I said, that's because I don't know what you're talking about. So, in that case, it's time for some miscellaneous stuff about this. Little quickies for you. Let's say you go to a file Siri tells you, Alexa, whatever, tells you to go to a particular file in a particular folder. And you listen to it and you go, oh, it's telling me that I have to put gas in the car. But I already did that this morning. What am I supposed to do now? Go put gas in the car? No. What you do in that case is delete the file. Seriously, you just delete the file because you already did it. And now it's time for a little reward because you already did that. Here's your little reward. Then you spin again. Spin means you ask Siri or whatever to give you that random number. That's spinning. So you spin again. But instead of spinning again, because you deleted a file, all you do is advance to the next file in the same order and listen to it. And decide if you want to do that or not. Then you listen to the file that comes before it. And you pick between those two files. It's your choice which of the two files you want to do. That's your reward for accomplishing something when you weren't even told to do it. Okay, here's another thing for you. It's called Saved by the Bell. You may have never heard that term before because it's only used in this particular game. And what that is let's say you're in the middle of a project, or you're in the middle of spinning, or you're doing something in the game, and the doorbell rings, or you get a text message and you hear it ding on your phone, or you get a phone call, or another call from nature. Nature calls sometimes, you know. If any of those things happen, you have a choice. You can either say, okay, game stops right now, no matter what I'm doing, I can stop it for the whole day if I want to. Your choice. But you're only allowed to do that if you go ahead and answer that text, or answer that phone, or answer that door, or let nature take its course with you. That's the only time. If you ignore those things, you have to continue what you're doing. Okay? So that's called Saved by the Bell. Sometimes that'll happen to you in something you don't like doing. So you go, all right, Saved by the Bell. I don't have to do this anymore. Other times it'll happen in the middle of something you're doing. You go, I'm saved by the bell, but when I'm done answering the door, I'm going to continue because I'm really engrossed in what I'm doing right now. Again, that's your choice. I don't tell you what to do. Wouldn't matter because none of you listen to me when I do anyway. Okay, so here we go. Well, here's another thing that can come up in your talker. And when you put your messages in the talker, you can add this if you want to. It's called Grease Monkey. Now you're probably going, what is Grease Monkey? Pretty simple. In my talker, sometimes I'll hit it, and at a random time it'll go, Grease Monkey! Or I say it different ways. That's one way I like to do it. And I go, all right, Grease Monkey came up. I love that. That's your wild card. What that tells you is when you hear Grease Monkey, which is very rare, it can only happen a maximum of one time in each folder. Okay, so you've got 4 folders. There's only 4 Grease Monkeys in here among probably hundreds of things. But anyway, so when Grease Monkey comes up, you go, okay. I am going to do one of 2 things. I'm either going to pick anything in any folder that I know is already in there, and I'm going to do that. You don't have to spin for that. You've decided. Or you can save your Grease Monkey for later. Now you might be thinking, well, what do you mean save my, who wants to waste a Grease Monkey? Oh, no. You're not wasting it. You're saving it for later. Here's what I mean by that. Let's say later on you're playing the game, you go to a folder and it tells you to do something you'd rather not do, like wash the car or something that you'd really can't do that in little segments. You gotta pretty much do it all at once. Might take you half an hour. You go, maybe I don't want to do that. So you save your Grease Monkey. When something comes up in here that you just don't feel like doing right that minute, you don't delete it when it comes up because it's going to be coming up eventually later. But at least for right now, you play your Grease Monkey card and you don't have to do it today. Okay? Now, here's something else. Let's say you go, I know I have got to eventually cut my nails. Now, did I put that in folder C? That's where I'd put it, way down there, or folder B. Or did I forget to put it in there? It's got to be in there, but you don't want to listen to all your files, is there cut my nails in there anywhere? Don't worry about it. Just put it in there again. Because if you put it in there again, you're putting it in there because it's something that just occurred to you, something you want to be in there. So put it in there. You might put it in the same folder it was in before, or if it's now all of a sudden, gee, my nails are getting really long, I better put that in folder A. I got to do that soon. But it doesn't hurt to have something here several times. And if they're in there several times, you're going to find that they're going to come up more often. And that means you get to delete them when they come up too soon. And you get to advance to the file after that or go to the previous file because you got rewarded. So don't be afraid to over-enter. Okay, here's another thing you can do. As I mentioned before, let's say you're playing the game. You go, I love this game, but I don't like the rules. Offbeat's got stupid rules on this particular thing. I'm changing them for me. Good, do it. It's your game. Have fun with it, okay? Like I said, very few rules you can't break. And I'll tell you what they are in a minute. Okay, another thing you can do, this is a fun thing. If you've got Siri on your HomePod, your phone, whatever, it doesn't matter, and you're working on a project, it tells you, okay, you have to read, I don't know, you have to read a book or something like that. Well, you're not going to read the whole book in one day. Maybe you'll decide just to read a chapter of it or something. That's your choice. But let's say it has you doing some project that is a long, long one, and there's really no reason to finish it all that day. Then decide how long you want to work on it. Like, let's say you have to mow well, that's not a good thing. Any example you can think of, pretty much, you have to do it. And you know it's going to be a long one. You go, I think 10 minutes of this is going to be enough for today. So you just tell, hey Siri, set the alarm for 10 minutes. Like this. Hey Siri, set the alarm for 10 minutes.
Okay, I set an alarm for 12:35 p.m.
Thank you, Siri. Now shut up. Okay, so in 10 minutes, while you're working on whatever that thing is, in 10 minutes, that alarm's going to go off and say, you're done. You're finished for the whole day. Whew, I love that sometimes. Other times, I ignore it. I keep on going because I'm so engrossed. You have that choice. It's up to you. Okay, now, back to the pen. Why all these colors? Well, as I said before, you don't have to use a bunch of colors, but trust me, black ink matters. And so does red and green and blue, and even the pencil, if you want to use that, they all will help you. In fact, if you noticed on the video segment where we showed a close-up of your dance card, I use different colors on this because when I refer to it later, it makes it easier for me. Some people don't need colors. I love them. I use them. So use your colors. Use your colors. It's good for you. Okay, and then let's see what else we got here. I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Oh, here's the big thing. Here's the rule you can't break. There's one rule that I can think of you cannot ever break.
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
Let's say something comes up in your folder and you go, oh no, I don't feel like doing that today. Unless you have a legitimate reason for not doing it, like you're supposed to go out and mow the lawn while it's raining, that would be a get out of jail free card right there. But other than that, if you're not doing something because you're lazy, here's how you solve it. First of all, remember this word. Grandpa Bob used to always tell me, and these are words I've never forgotten, a rule broken ceases to be a rule. So if you break that rule today, you're going to start breaking all the rules all the time, and you're not even going to have any reason to play this game. No reason for spin and win if you're going to cheat. Okay? So here's the thing. But let's say it's something you really don't want to do. I got a little solution for you. Do it anyway, but just do a little bit of it. Okay? You don't have to do the whole thing. Like let's say it's, I can't think of very many examples of anything today, but let's say it's, I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, just do a little portion of it and decide ahead of time. I'm only going to do it for this many minutes, or only going to do it until I get to that portion, then I get to stop. Go for it. More power to you. That's the way to think in this game. That way you'll never get bored, you'll never get discouraged, you will continue and continue and continue until all your projects are finished. Now remember, all the while, anytime you want, day or night, you might think of another project or another thing you need to do. That's okay. Put it in here. I don't care if it's 7:30 in the morning. Now don't do it at 7:30 at night because there might be a ball game on. Okay? But other than that, anytime you want, add things to this. Whatever folder you think it belongs in, and you know better than anybody, put it in the appropriate folder. Okay, that's it for now. I hope that you will give it a try. Play Spin and Win for a little while. If you don't like it, I suggest you stop and forget the whole thing. Or come back to another day and try it again, because it becomes really, really addicting when you start seeing how good this will make your projects, your goals, your dreams, and your life. I promise you, it will do that for you. Everything I've ever done in life stemmed from this game. If you want examples, let's talk or chat, whatever. I'll tell you some things you don't know about me and what this game has done for me. Okay, that got me started on some things that might surprise you. Or it might very well bore you to tears. I don't know, but do whatever you want to do. But I really suggest you start the game. If you're still playing through the end of January, then you're entitled to those little bonuses I told you about. If you're not, keep what I sent you and enjoy them in different ways. It's yours to do with what you want. Okay, everybody, Merry, Merry Christmas, and let's talk soon. Text me, chat me, let me know how it's going, or let me know you decided not to do it. I won't get mad. It's okay. Just have a great time with whatever you do and enjoy yourselves. I love you all. Talk to you soon. Okay, hello everybody. Yes, the Spin to Win video is completely over, but I thought of a couple of improvements in Spin to Win that are going to make this game so much faster, so much simpler, so much easier, and so much more productive that you wouldn't believe it. So if you're interested in Spin to Win, or if you have decided you don't want to do Spin to Win because it's too complicated, too confusing, put that out of your mind for a moment. If you're interested on any level, let me know, and I'll tell you a couple of simple little things that are going to make it 100 times easier and 100 times more productive, 100 times quicker. I kid you not. Kids, that is grandkids and big kids. That is Nadia, little Richie, little Benny. None of you are little, but I still like to say it. And Big Rich and Big Ben. Okay, once again, a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy yourself. Stay in touch. Let me know if you want to know the additions that are going to make this so much better. You wouldn't and you won't believe it.